Hello, hello, once again, everyone. It's 21 News Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm here. Weather for Weather Geeks time. It's the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast. We're going to geek out to a lot of interesting stuff this evening. The big transition to a much colder pattern started this afternoon and really kicks in as we go deeper into the work week and into the weekend, and especially into next week. Let's review today's temperature trend. Now, I'm recording this video a little before 8 o'clock this evening. And we're going to look at the last 20 hours of temperatures, if my graphics will catch up with me. There we go. We hit a high of 52 during the early afternoon as expected today, but it's pretty easy to figure out where the cold front came through. It's right here. And temperatures continue to tumble pretty quickly this evening as the colder air wraps in from the north and west. Now, the rain went pretty much as expected for the first half of the day today. It lingered a little longer than I thought it would in parts of Columbiana, Lawrence, and Mercer counties. Even in Mahoning County, it tried to drizzle up through about mid-afternoon today, a little later than I thought, but rain totals were about what I expected over the last 24 hours. So nothing crazy there. Boy, big wound-up storm over parts of Ontario. And here's our cold front in through here, marching east. We zoom in, pardon me, at our local area here, and the sky's trying to clear not far to our west. The sky will clear across the region tonight, paving the way to a sunnier day coming up tomorrow. Wind chills are a story, though, especially to our north and west. Again, pretty easy to figure out where the cold front is this evening. It's right here. And north and west of us, wind chills are in the single digits and teens across parts of the Midwest this evening. Our wind chills will drop down into the teens later on tonight. It'll stay pretty brisk into the night, into the day tomorrow as well. So wind chills in the upper teens as you wake up tomorrow morning. Air temperatures tomorrow pretty close to average, close to 40, but the wind chills will be closer to freezing. So there'll be a bite to the air as you head out on your Wednesday. But we'll see some sunshine in the morning and midday. I think some clouds will roll in with a weak disturbance later in the afternoon, but nothing coming out of those clouds. Now, as we go into the day on Thursday, what was a pretty predominantly southwesterly flow becomes a little more westerly, and with a little disturbance coming down through the lakes, I think there could be a little band of lake effect snow showers and flurries that tries to work down into our northern viewing area, northern Trumbull, northern Mercer. And then as we go into the day on Friday, we get back into a southwest flow, more sunshine. The lake effect will continue up in western New York. And this next front right here is what is an Alberta Clipper system and what could bring us some accumulating snow on Saturday. More on that in just a second. In the meantime, the lake effect will be significant in western New York and upstate New York as well. In some of the places south of Buffalo, 6 to 12 inches, fairly likely, maybe even a little more in some spots. And even as far south as Erie County and PA, can't rule out some pretty tough travel for a time later this week. In northeast Ohio, in far northern reaches of Ashtabula County, pretty close to the lake, could be a few inches or a handful of inches up there, but, you know, once you get down into central and southern Ashtabula, there's not going to be much, and really not looking for any sort of accumulation here locally. Lake effect snow warnings out for Chautauqua, Cattaraugus counties, parts of the Buffalo metro area, including southern Erie County and parts of Wyoming County east of Buffalo, because again, the lake effect is going to be pretty significant up there. Let's talk about our weather back here at home as we go into the weekend. Starting to become a little more confident that we'll have a somewhat impactful system coming our way on Saturday. This is a pretty classic looking Alberta Clipper system. I think we start out dry Saturday, but by midday and afternoon, I think some light snow is going to spread in. And while this is not going to be a big storm, this is a pretty classic looking Alberta Clipper system that will probably bring some light snow midday, afternoon. There's probably going to be some impacts on the roads, especially as we go past sunset Saturday evening. And then the snow will taper off to flurries by later Saturday night, and we'll be left with a few snow showers into parts of Sunday. Not talking about any sort of official numbers in our forecasts yet on Saturday, but this to me just screams 1 to 3 inches of snow for our viewing area. 1 to 3, of course, does not mean 3. You'll hear me say that a lot as we get into the winter. We give ranges for a reason. A lot of people only hear the higher number. But this just screams a 1 to 3 inch fluffy snow coming our way on Saturday, and could turn a little slick on the roads. Now, the cold, again, has some staying power. It's going to be variable a little bit as far as the intensity of the cold. By Sunday night and Monday, batch number 1 is pushing off the eastern seaboard, and batch number 2 is kind of loading up again up here. So here's the first batch coming through. We get into a little bit of a respite. I think we'll probably climb up into the mid-30s on Monday ahead of the next Arctic front. And that comes our way Monday night into Tuesday. Probably another round of snow showers. Oops, let's back up here. Got ahead of myself. Here's Tuesday. So this is when I think the coldest of the weather overall is coming our way. Middle and latter portions of next week. That is an impressive looking map. That's a map that we showed a lot back in those cold winters of 2013, 14, 14, and 15 with the low pressure system in the upper levels up near Hudson Bay and spokes of Arctic air. You know, the flow is coming right out of the Arctic. You can trace the lines right up through here, coming down into the U.S. and then pushing into the Ohio Valley. So our air mass will be Arctic in origin during the middle and latter portions of next week. The cold sticks around then. Now, what I'm starting to see more and more on the modeling is as we get closer to Christmas, the cold may ease some. This is Wednesday the 20th, so 5 days before Christmas. That's not a warm-looking weather map, but the core of the cold may be over here, Atlantic Canada, maybe parts of New England. Some of this warmth might try to sneak in as we get a little bit closer to the holiday, and the American modeling has been showing that. Notice as we go closer to Christmas, and between Christmas and New Year's, boom, we get into some milder air. Not sure if that's fiction or reality at this point, but my suspicion is that overall the coldest weather compared to average is definitely going to be next week, with less severe cold as we get closer to the holiday and maybe closer to New Year's as well. That's my gut feeling right now. More updates on this video, weather for Weather Geeks, in the coming days and, of course, weeks. Hope you have a great Tuesday night, and check out my updated forecast tonight on 21 News at 11 o'clock.